Hello, Jody Olette here, and I've got a quick message for you today. I want to talk to you about the law of attraction and specifically talk about affirmations. I just recently started studying a program called the Science of Getting Rich program that was put together by Bob Proctor, and it's based on a book that I actually read several years back called The Science of Getting Rich, written by Wallace D. Wattles. And it's kind of neat to go through this program right now because I get to kind of review this book again, but through the lens of people who have actually used all of the principles and have created the success reality that they wanted to have in their own life. And so, talking about affirmations, it's interesting actually how as I was re-reviewing this information, I remember when I first started in the home business industry over a decade ago already, I remember the first time I was going through goal setting practices. And one of the things that I learned back then was the importance of actually committing your goals to paper, pen to paper, actually physically writing them out, and then repeating those goals out loud. Now, the key focus in that training was to write out all of our goals as if they already existed, writing them in present tense in terms of I am, I have, I am, okay? Not I will be, not I'm going to be, not this is going to happen in the future, but writing everything in present tense. Now, I want to talk to you about affirmations because affirmations are basically a set of goals that you have that you are speaking out loud on a daily basis. Now, I want to share with you some very specific affirmation ideas. In fact, I'm going to direct you back to my blog where I go into this in a little bit more depth about how to formulate your own affirmations, and I give you some examples that you can use on a daily basis. Now, why are these affirmations so important? Well, first of all, you need to speak your affirmations out loud. See, one of the things that I've learned through the Science of Getting Rich and also through another book that I recently read called Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, if you have some serious goals and a big vision for your life right now, I highly recommend that you get these books. And I'm really enjoying this audio program. And so I do have the information for this on my blog as well, so make sure to go over there. But here's the thing. I remember a few years back listening to, and I can't remember if it was in one of her audio programs or if it was one of her spiritual equipping broadcasts, but business leader and also spiritual leader Danny Johnson was talking in one of her programs about the scripture that death and life is in the power of the tongue. And she was talking about the power of the spoken word and the simple fact that whatever rolls off our tongue, whatever we say out loud, we believe. And then, and I know I've got this information somewhere, but there was an actual scientific study years later. It was a neurological study that was able to prove that the speech center of the brain has complete dominion over basically our life and our reality, okay? And so our body reacts to what we're saying out loud. And the reason that this really happens is that what we say out loud and what we're thinking on a continual basis is feeding our subconscious mind. And this is something that I learned through the Science of Getting Rich, through the Psycho-Cybernetics, is that the subconscious mind does not have control over its own thoughts, right? It can't dispute what you feed it. Basically, the subconscious mind accepts whatever you give it. And so your conscious mind is something that we do have control over because we do have control over our own thoughts. We can choose to reject certain thoughts and then redirect our thoughts in a new direction, right? We have absolute control over that. And so what affirmations do is simply we are speaking out loud the reality that we want in our life. And so whatever your goals are right now, I don't know, career goals, financial goals, health goals, relationship goals, whatever it may be, what you want to do is sit down and write out daily affirmations that you can speak out loud to yourself so that you recondition and reprogram your subconscious mind to believe that this already is, that it is a reality. And the reason this is so important, have you ever heard the statement where the mind goes, the man follows? basically whatever your mind decides, whatever your subconscious mind is in agreement with, your actions are going to follow. See, a lot of times people kind of thought the secret was maybe this kind of hokey manifestation idea, right? Like, yeah, right, you can't just sit and think and suddenly things are going to appear in your life. Well, you're right, it doesn't work that way. You can't just sit and meditate all day and imagine that, checks are going to start flowing in and, mail's going to come in and all this money's just going to happen, right, out of thin air. No, but what happens is you create the thoughts and beliefs in your mind, and then your actions, your body, everything follows the mindset and the beliefs that you actually create for yourself. And so one example, and I just want to use a monetary goal, one example that Bob Proctor shared in the Science of Getting Rich program was this affirmation. Remember, written in present tense. And he said, I am so happy and grateful that money comes to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis. And I am constantly creating new ways to deliver value to people. See, delivering value to people is also a very key ingredient in terms of your overall success, no matter what area of life you're looking at, because the more that you give, the more positive that you give to the world, the more positive that the world gives back to you. And so, here's what I want you to do right now. I don't care what your goals are. You need to learn to write them in present tense as I am, and then, commit them to a note card and repeat them out loud every single day. Okay? And because again, this is all about reconditioning, reprogramming your brain to create your own environment, to create your own reality. Now, if you're one of those people right now that are thinking, oh my gosh, she's getting all this information from a book called, our program called The Science of Getting Rich, I don't care about that stuff, we're going to get into that later. A lot of times people have these negative beliefs surrounding wealth and riches, and for some people they think it's wrong. And so I'm going to be talking about and kind of doing some videos and doing some blog posts in the coming weeks on what I'm actually learning from these programs, so that we can help your mind kind of remove some of those barriers and those strongholds that you have built up in your mind, some of the beliefs, to kind of redirect your thoughts, because the whole goal here, my mission, my goal, my purpose is to help you to become the absolute best you that you can be, to live the most excellent life that you know that you were ultimately created for. The better off you have in terms of where you're at in your thinking, your mind, the joy that you experience, your surroundings, your environment, what you can do, what you can give to others, the more that you have to give to the world. And so that's important. And so we're going to get into more of those laws later. We'll talk more in depth about that. But right now, go over to my blog, get some specific affirmation ideas, and get more information on exactly how you should be writing yours, and do this every day. This is Jody Olette, wishing you a blessed day. Take care.